After Cassius Clay professional debut against Tunney Hunsaker on October 29, 1960, which Clay won through a unanimous decision on points, he was on a stunning winning streak for the next 7 years. On December 27, 1960, Clay won the bout against Herb Gorilla Siler at Municipal Auditorium, Miami Beach, Florida, through a technical knockout after the referee stopped the fight on the 60th second of the fourth round. This was Clay's first fight with Angelo Dundee in his corner. Clay's next opponent was Big Tony Espereti. The fight took place on January 17, 1961 at the same Municipal Auditorium in Miami Beach. Clay won the bout through a technical knockout when the referee stopped the fight in the 90th second of the third round, after Espereti's left eye had been cut by Clay's jabs. It was Cassius Clay's 19th birthday and Espereti's first fight in 6 years. Tony was on his feet and seemingly not too hurt when referees stopped the bout, because Espereti was beginning to bust up around the eyes. On February 7, 1961, Cassius Clay was scheduled to fight Willie Gullett in Miami Beach. According to Gullett, promoter Chris Dundee, Angelo Dundee's brother, offered Clay $800 and offered Gullett only $300 for the fight. Gullett refused and did not show up. Dundee then enlisted Jimmy Robinson to fight Clay. Robinson showed up at Miami Beach Convention Hall with his gear in an old army bag. Clay officially outweighed him by 16.5 pounds and won by knockout at 94th second of the first round. In 2 weeks, on February 21, 1961, Clay fought an 8-round boxing match with Donnie Fleeman in Miami at Municipal Auditorium. Prior to this fight, Fleeman had a record of 51 fights with 45 wins, including 20 knockouts. Clay won the bout through a technical knockout after the referee stopped the fight in the 7th round. This was the first time Clay had gone over 6 rounds in a boxing match. It was also the first time Fleeman had ever been knocked down. He had fractured sternum because of his previous opponent. He could barely raise his left arm, but he had a guarantee of $3,000. Fleeman retired from boxing after this fight. Next bout took place at Cassius' hometown, at Freedom Hall, Louisville, Kentucky, on April 19, 1961. His opponent was Lamar Clark. It was an 8-round boxing match. Clark had entered the ring with a formidable reputation of knocking out 42 of his previous opponents. However, Clay broke Clark's nose in the fight, put him down twice in the first round, and won the bout through a knockout in the second round, following which Clark retired from boxing.
Clay, wearing the white trunks, is using his speed of foot to stick and move, thus neutralizing most of Clark's counters. Clark's got him by the ropes, but Cassius holds him. Clay's speed has Lamar missing badly. Even though Clay has had only 5 professional fights, he's already showing some of the moves and style that mark him as a fighter to watch. Cassius lands a good one, too. The action as Clark tries to come back. Clay staggered Clark with that combination. Clark is down. Punch flat-footed. But those combinations sure pack a lot of cumulative wallop. Cassius Clay looks as if he wants to take Clark out. He's feinting and trying to get Lamar to lead. Clay lands again. Clay lifts to the right and Clark is down.
Also, Cassius Clay's first prediction was against Lamar Clark. I just had the feeling that he must fall. I said he would fall in 2 and he did, said Cassius. 7th professional fight of Cassius Clay held on June 26, 1961, at Convention Center, Las Vegas, Nevada, against Duke Colo Sabedong. It was a 10-round boxing match that went a full distance, with Clay winning comfortably on points, despite Sabedong's usage of roughhouse tactics. Sabedong was penalized twice and warned thrice during this fight for using tactics like throwing low blows and hitting after the break. The night before that 10-round boxing match was a professional wrestling card, which would draw a sellout crowd at the same site. However, despite matchmaker Mel Greb's promotional efforts, Ali's Las Vegas debut would be before a half-empty house. Muhammad watched in awe as wrestler Gorgeous George, who was on the same radio show, boasted that he would win his match because he was the prettiest wrestler. Muhammad asked Mel to take him to the wrestling matches so he could watch more of George in action, which Mel did. After Muhammad's first Las Vegas fight, he told reporters he won because he was the prettiest fighter. That's where all of that started.
So I got this from Gorgeous George. I said, this is a good idea. Look, he's getting rich. So I start talking. I am the greatest. I cannot be beat. I'm too pretty.
Cassius Clay, the greatest. It's a self-creation.
On July 22nd, 1961, at Freedom Hall, Louisville, Kentucky, Ali met with Alonzo Johnson in 10-round boxing match. Prior to the fight, Alonzo said that he had a secret weapon. Ali responded, "Well, ain't that something?" I think that Johnson's secret weapon is something that will keep him from flying out of the ring when I hit him. But don't worry, I've got two secret weapons. One I calls my left, one I calls my right. But as the fight began before a crowd of 5,000, Clay showed Johnson he was as fast with his hands as he was with his tongue.
Fight of the week. I'm Don Dunphy, your ringside commentator. Tonight's 10-rounder from the Kentucky Fair and Exposition Center in Louisville, Kentucky. Cassius Clay, 1960 Olympic boxing champion from Louisville, experienced Alonzo Johnson of Rankin, Pennsylvania.
Weighing 192.5 pounds, Cassius Clay. Weighing 189 pounds, Alonzo Johnson.
Man goes down 3 times in 1 round, fight's over. If you go down once, you must take the count of 8. Shake hands now, come out fighting, good luck to both.
They're wearing 8-ounce gloves. A 10-rounder, the bell for round 1.
Clay started with the left jab, adding 4 punches combination.
He's not been landing with the right hand, Clay hasn't, but he has been pumping that left in hard. There goes a good right.
Johnson tried to corner his opponent. It was hard for Alonzo to tag his rival's head, so he was waiting for Clay's mistakes and work to the body.
1 minute to go in round 1. However, up on his toes as he is, he's not getting much punching power.
Clay used his height and reach advantage to earn more points and dealing more damage to Johnson.
10 seconds to go in round 1. There's the bell. Louisville, Kentucky. Cassius Clay, white trunks, Alonzo Johnson in black. This is yelling Alonzo's an old man. He'll be 27 years old in September.
Johnson attempted landing shots to the Clay's head while breaking the distance between them, but his speed and reach were enough only to land rival's body.
Less than a minute to go in round 2. Those long right hands of Clay are landing, but without too much steam. There's the bell ending round 2. Round 3, Cassius Clay, the white trunks.
At the beginning of the third, boxers were ducking left jabs and right hands perfectly. Alonzo began active pressure of Clay, even cornered him in the middle of the round. Johnson continued stalking his opponent, performing successful punches and combinations, even cornered Clay in the second time. Cassius turned defensive.
Clay is undefeated, but he's never fought anyone of the caliber of Johnson. Johnson himself has never been knocked out. There's the bell. Round 4, Cassius Clay, the white trunks, Alonzo Johnson in black.
From the beginning of the fourth, Johnson tried to take initiative, like in the previous one, but Clay was sharper.
In Johnson's corner, the best of the fight.
He sped up and dodged properly, while stinging his rival sharply.
At the moment, Clay is just too fast for Johnson. "45 seconds left in the round."
Even knocked Alonzo down to canvas in the last 40 seconds of the round. However, referee did not count that as a knockdown.
He bounced right up. He claims it's not a knockdown. And the referee says no knockdown. The referee first started to count, and then decided it was no knockdown. Johnson was off balance, but he was hit, too. There's the bell ending round 4. Cassius Clay, the white trunks, Alonzo Johnson in black.
There were no questions about Cassius Clay dominated their fight during previous 4 rounds.
Mostly with his speed, but Johnson is winging away. Clay's corner is yelling to him to hook, or the left hook.
Cassius, though fighting with caution and without notable vigor or enthusiasm, continued to build points with his jabs.
He leans pretty well back from punches, Cassius Clay does. However, leaning is considered dangerous, too. You get tagged in that position, you might go out.
On each Johnson's landed punch, Clay responded twice as much.
One minute to go in round 5. 10 seconds to go in round 5. There's the bell. Coming up to round 6 here in Louisville, and Cassius Clay in the white trunks as the bell rings.
Alonzo was stalking his opponent while Clay counterattacking him.
For the first time, Clay shows signs of maybe getting a little bit weary. Johnson still beating the body as hard as he can. There.
It looks like both fighters were low on stamina.
Clay definitely has slowed down. Round 6 almost over. There's the bell. Round 7, Cassius Clay, the white trunks. Toll on Clay now. The young man doesn't look as sharp as he did earlier. Johnson has not been able to land a big one to the head, however. Clay has landed many up there.
It felt like the crowd was not satisfied at all, so Clay started to punish Johnson, even dropped him on the canvas for the second time. Alonzo Johnson got up immediately, and again, referee did not count that as a knockdown.
Down. Nope. That's the second non-knockdown. 10 seconds to go in round 7. There's the bell. No official knockdowns in the fight so far.
The 8th round was similar to the previous one. Crowd started booing because the lack of action or maybe because of Clay's inability of knocking Johnson out.
There's the bell ending round 8. Cassius Clay's corner. Facing him is Angelo Dundee, as I told you earlier, the well-traveled trainer. Round 9. Cassius Clay, the white trunks. Clay still leaves himself off balance when he throws a long right hand. You can hear the crowd calling for more action.
Cassius Clay seemed fresher than his rival. He was still bouncing on his feet and dealing the damage to the Johnson. However, Alonzo Johnson had some stamina left too.
Ten seconds to go in round 9. There's the bell. Coming up to round 10, the bell is sounded. Cassius Clay, the white trunks. Alonzo Johnson in black. Johnson's real weary.
The little excitement the fight had was compressed into the 10th round when a tiring Clay apparently caught his second wind, reducing Johnson to a sagging heap against him.
Let's see what they call that. That's the third time Johnson's been down, but there have been no official knockdowns. A little more than a minute left to go in this fight. Johnson's having trouble lasting now. He's exceptionally tired. About 30 seconds left. The crowd very pro-Clay here in Louisville, rooting for him to score a knockout. Few seconds left. There's the final bell.
The upshot was a unanimous decision for Clay. Cassius was not hurt by Johnson, he said later, but he was troubled at times that he was doing so poorly against the attacking Alonzo. He had openings to spare, but not the technique to take advantage of them. Clay, indifferent through the early rounds, finally went to work in the 9th and 10th. The victory ran Clay's record to 8-0 and left Johnson with 19 victories and 8 losses.
Cassius Clay, the winner. The more they announce it, the closer it got, however.